Hello and welcome to this week's episode of DJ Force X in Conversation. This is episode 94. Yes, 94. Craziness. Closing in on those triple digits. But this episode, I have Irving Force, who... or Adam, as he is known as well. But yeah, he's just released a new album called God Mode. And it's if you're a fan of sort of synthwave, cinematic rock metal type sound, sort of very kind of what's the word? Cinematic. That is the word I'm going to use, and that's the one I've continued to use because it is big. It sounds huge, but do check it out. It's on Bandcamp. It's on all the sort of usual sort of digital outlets on that front, but do check it out because it's worth it if you love that kind of style of music. I just want to thank everyone who's downloading these shows. I have seen an increase recently in that, so it means more people are coming back, which is fantastic. So thank you. Let me know where you're subscribing to it. If you're just listening to it on the website, if you're going through Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google, I don't know if it's on Spotify yet or not, but I'm putting it out there on all the formats just to see which one gains traction and stuff like that. I'm getting statistics through, but they're kind of random statistics, really. So I'm not really trusting those, but there is one that I've accumulated and looked at. These shows have been downloaded over almost 21,000 times over the sort of 92, 93 episodes, which is phenomenal. I was like, really looking at that, I'm like, wow, cool numbers. For no one else, but I just want to say thank you. I know in the early days I was asking for reviews and putting adverts and all that kind of stuff, and they're trying to. But now I'm just enjoying chatting to people. So, and I hope you enjoy listening to me chatting to people as well, because that's all I want to do. You know, I've got some other ideas, some other irons in the fire, which I talked about last week, but I'm not going to drag on with that because that went on for a little bit long on that front. But enjoy this interview. The guy was great. And do check out the album because, again, it's fantastic. It's out now on Jet Set Trash. It's called God Mode. The artist is Irving Force. Yeah, there's not much else I can say really on that front apart from just go stream it, go buy it, do whatever you do with music. It's worth it if you're playing games to it, anything like that. It's one of those soundtracks that works on multiple levels and multiple formats. But yes, cool. Enjoy the interview. This is Adam, aka Irving Force. On this week's show, I have Adam of Irving Force. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good.
Cool. So yeah, we're here to chat about your new album, God Mode, which is out now on Jet Set Trash. And you can get it via your Bandcamp page and things like that. I've been listening to this album since when did I get it? It was a couple of weeks ago. And I'm really enjoying it. Just to be first up on that front, it's really cool. It's kind of I don't know how you would describe it, but it's kind of very cinematic in its feel. It's like synthwave mixed with like metal. It's quite heavy and dark in places. But yeah, how would you explain that? Because obviously there are a lot of genres going on in that sound that you have, and what sort of goes through your mind when you're writing these things?
Like I kind of have like this, like a story, like a backstory to all these. But it's just in my head. I haven't really like written it down or anything. Okay. But so I try to like imagine seeing some stuff and try to like score them, kind of. So it's kind of like a backwards score without a movie.
Okay. So that's what I mean. Like I said, it gave me a kind of like a cinematic feel to it, which is obviously what you kind of went for on that. I really enjoyed. There's a couple of good tracks I really enjoyed. Was Wasteland was one of them, which I think is the last track on the album, and Overlord as well. Kind of funky on that one. And I mean the whole thing. I've had it on kind of on repeat, if you will, with a bunch of other stuff. But it's really cool.
Nice.
So how's it been for you so far? I mean, it's been out for, we're looking at now, about a month almost.
Yeah.
And how's that been going for you?
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Like, I was kind of nervous about this one, with people who've like listened to my music before, because it's been like 2 years since I released anything of I don't want to say of substance, but anything like this long.
Yeah.
I've done like a few remixes and collabs and stuff in between, but and this was kind of different from. It's a lot like it's slower, and there's more kind of it leans more into that like cinematic stuff, as you said. Like it's not it wouldn't necessarily work in like a club or anything. Some of the songs, so I was kind of nervous that people were not gonna like that, but so far I haven't had any complaints or anything. I hope people like it. Yeah.
Cool. So, if I can get some background on you, because obviously the first time I've really, this was the first time I've noticed. Obviously, I've been sent your stuff, so it's the first time I was exposed to your sort of like music. I went back and listened to some of your other EPs and stuff, and it's very cool. I love that kind of synthwave movement that's going on right now, and or has been going on for a little while now. But yeah, I'm sort of very much into that sort of side of things. But if I can get some background on you, like when you started, what your kind of inspirations are or were at the time, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Let me think. I think I started around with this project in like 2014, and this was my first like electronic thing. I was in a metal band before that.
Okay.
And I guess I just kind of in the beginning, I just wanted to do something like something on the complete like opposite end of what I had been doing before. So I really wanted to do these kind of like silly, soft poppy type songs, but pretty like quickly it turned in. It became this darker kind of riff based stuff. Yeah. That's on there now. So. Yeah, I wanted to make like cinematic scores and stuff too, so that kind of came in there as well. So yeah, that's I've just kind of gone deeper down that hole the more I've been doing it, because this it's a bit darker than the stuff I had out 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but I was still all that stuff was still going that route or whatever.
Yeah. Obviously, I mentioned you're in a metal band. I can see where that influence has come in with this sort of more darker stuff. It is very difficult, because I kind of took the same route as you of coming out of a metal band and wanting to make a bit more sort of on the electronic side, a bit more lighter, almost poppy stuff, but it always ended up being kind of very dark and again, like it's like you can take yourself out the metal, but you can't take the metal out yourself, if you will.
Right. And why try?
Exactly. And how these like genres are now melting together. Right. Whereas before it was kind of like bits pieced together. Some bands, like you had industrial bands that kind of put stuff together like that, and but it was very distortion and very simple kind of beats and stuff. Mm-hmm. But now with the way the technology is, obviously, and what we can actually do now on our laptops in front of us, that those genres are kind of, they can melt together very well, which is something you've done with this album. And I had another Jet Set artist on a couple of weeks ago, Goreflesh.
Oh yeah.
And he's another one that's done that, but he's gone kind of down the sort of very dark route of almost sort of the sort of like doom metal, if you will. And it's just I'm just loving this crossover right now, where these two genres, like two of my passionate genres, if you will, because I love dance music and I love metal, and it's I love seeing those two things sort of collide and become something I can listen to and go, yes, I love this and I love this.
What a time to be alive, man.
It is, I know, right? It's great.
Yeah. I remember like listening to the old like Fear Factory remix, and like really wanting to like, why isn't there more like stuff like this?
Yeah.
But I guess that it took a whole band and then a guy to remix it. So I
yes, no, I mean it was. I mean I have a radio show that kind of specializes in that crossover sound as well. Apart from this one, it's more sort of conversational based. I have a music based show where it's just purely me mixing music for like an hour, but it is a cross between. It's basically like it's electronic and it's metal. So I have played things like Fear Factory, the remixes of. I've got a couple of those vinyl releases from back in the day of like when they did the was it Techno Head and a bunch of like Gabba remixes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
it was called T-1000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love that. I actually didn't like. I used to just replay the intro over and over where he has like the first. Yeah.
Amazing. Just sort of seeing the evolution of it, because obviously I sort of in the early days of my show it was kind of there was a few bands that cross it over. You got things like bands like Pitch Shifter from back in the day, and then a few sort of like Pendulum, stuff like that, The Prodigy, a bit more of the mainstream side of it. But then I sort of relied on remixes, and there are a lot more remixes from back then than there are now, which is sad, because obviously some of the remixes aren't so great, but just sort of going through that and exploring that and seeing these collaborations of like what would normally be just a straight up kind of metal track, and someone's managed to remix it into some kind of dance track.
Yeah.
Now it's quite good because I've got groups like, or artists like you. There's a few coming through like Seething Akira. There's the Fixed label as well as Jet Set, who have sent me a whole bunch of stuff. There's Fixed in the States, who have got like Cell Dweller and Blue Starling and all that kind of stuff. So I've got plenty of music to pull from now on that front, which is great. But the remix side of things, so when I hear like, apart from when the dubstep movement came in, because then a lot of bands got their stuff remixed by
various there's a lot of like metal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had obviously the Korn album, which kind of like was the beginning and end of it, I believe. But you had bands like Five Finger Death Punch and stuff like that getting those remixes done by the various artists of that period of time, which sounds really weird saying that because it was only a couple of years ago, but it's how fast things move these days.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah. So bring it back to yourself. So what are your plans? I mean, I see you've got a couple of live dates coming up. Is that Irving Force live dates, or is that like DJ type dates?
Honestly, I didn't know that myself, to be perfectly honest with you. So maybe Zach has something booked up that we haven't really talked about dates. I know we've talked about like some potential stuff coming up, but I haven't gotten those myself.
Okay, I was on your Bandcamp page. I'm sure it had dates on there.
Okay, maybe they're like old ones. I would love to have a date right now to promote, but I don't.
Okay, fair enough. We'll skip past that. So, do you have a live setup for it, or is it DJ dates that you do?
No, we have. Sorry, I bring guitars with me, and we have this live setup where I play the computer or whatever. And, he plays the riffs. So yeah, it's like a kind of something in between. I'm not DJing, but I'm not. I play some synths and stuff, and I trigger loops and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so it's almost like a live setup of sorts, obviously, so you hit play on the computer, but you are playing stuff, and it's not it's not a DJ set that you've kind of set up. It is literally whatever program you're using to automate and play the songs and stuff. Cool. So what is your, because I usually ask this to most electronic, what's your favorite bit of gear that you have that you can't sort of at the moment make music without?
Well, honestly, like I when I make music, I don't use. I use like an off-brand keyboard, and I do use these like these old what do they call, like Korg NanoPad and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't use a lot of like hardware or anything. Well, none really. Like I don't use hardware synths or anything because those are really expensive.
They are really expensive.
So it's all, it's all software stuff that, it's the stuff that I really couldn't live without.
Yeah. So what ones do you use? What are your main go-tos?
Well, so I use Reason 10, which has a lot of its own, like, I don't use a lot of VSTs and stuff. It's all rack extensions just because that runs, smoothly on Reason 10. But I would say, like, I use a lot of FM stuff. So the PX7 synthesizer, which is like DX7 clone of the classic FM synth. Yeah. That has been like what I use mainly to get those like twangy guitar sounds and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So I've got a couple of questions left for you, and I can let you get on with the rest of your day because I know it's kind of early. You're in Sweden, right?
I'm in Sweden, yeah. So I'm like, it's 10 o'clock here.
Yes. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're about an hour ahead of us. So.
Yeah. Cool. It's not a huge time difference.
No, it's not a huge time difference. But you have the rest of the day for you. So, what? Just like I say, a couple of questions left. So, what are your plans ahead currently? I know you say you don't have any dates, but you'd like some. Is there anything else that you're doing, promotional wise, or anything like that you want to plug?
Yeah. I have been doing, and I am doing this. I live stream on Twitch TV / Irving Force.
Cool.
I do like sometimes I work on songs on there, and then I also play a lot of games. I get distracted and do that.
Yep.
And yeah, I also have I got a bunch of more music that's coming out. I got like remixes and stuff, and I did the soundtrack thing.
Cool.
For like a board game.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, that's pretty much it right now. I'm just trying to like work. I want to start putting out way more music than I have up until this point. Because as I said, it's been like 2 years since I released. I don't know if I'll be releasing like an album or an EP, but I want there to be music coming out regularly, so people don't forget that I exist.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's good. I mean, if you got like, obviously you have a plan ahead for it, but that sounds really cool. And I didn't know you had a Twitch channel, so I've literally just subscribed to it. So
nice. Yeah, maybe I'll check. I'll get a little notification.
I've just started really using Twitch to kind of use for just watching stuff really, but I'm looking to use it for more visual side of things for stuff that I do.
Nice.
Away from kind of with the music, but also video games. I play video games as well, but I also play board games, so I kind of want to get something like that going. So but yeah, I've just started exploring it and using it because I found out through my Amazon Prime I get a subscription to it or something as well, so
right, yeah, I
was like, oh cool, sweet, so let me use that. So I'm going to try and see if I can utilize that at some point. How's that going for you as a sort of outlet? Is it quite popular for you?
It's okay. I don't get like huge amounts of numbers or anything, but I've made a lot of new friends, and there's been like I have like a whole new group of friends on there. It's pretty
nice.
But I honestly, like lately, I haven't streamed as much. I used to try to stream like 5 or 4 times a week before. Yeah. But lately I've been kind of, there's a lot of stuff going on with the release, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't had the time to do it, but I'm looking to get back on. But I do have this little, we created like a little Discord and stuff, where people can chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. So what games are you playing right now? If obviously I know you're busy with your release, but you've got to have some downtime. What's your go-to? Right.
Well, honestly, I barely play games off stream anymore. I didn't play a lot of games before. Like I go back and forth.
Okay.
So I usually like get stuck in a game and play it forever, and then I realize this is ruining productivity. I have like 400 hours in Fallout 4.
Okay.
like this is turning into a problem. So I take like breaks on and off. But now, so that is why streaming on Twitch is kind of good, because then it has like this set time where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play games, for a few hours.
Yep.
And then we're done. But a game I played a lot on there was My Summer Car. You know that game?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yep.
Yeah, I play that for. I played it for like 24 hours at one point. It's a very. I seem to like. I don't enjoy those types of games, and when I'm playing myself, but for when I'm doing it on stream and I'm like talking to people, I really enjoy these like very torturous types of games where I just get angry at them. But yeah, that's the one. I've been playing a lot of like FMV games too, like full motion video stuff from the 90s.
Oh, cool.
Phantasmagoria 2 was great. Harvester, I loved Harvester. I even started working on like a tribute song to Harvester on stream. Yeah,
I remember those games from back then. I had Mega CD, which is the Sega.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of FMV games like that, and the 3DO as well.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't have them. I moved country and I moved back again. So I sold all my stuff before I moved, and I've not rebuilt since I've come back. So I intend to at some point, but playing things like Night Trap and what were the other ones? There's one called Cyberpunk on the 3DO. Wing Commander 3, I think that was an FMV one had like Mark Hamill in it and stuff. So
okay, yeah,
it's kind of funky. But yeah, no, like back then, yeah, I used to love those games. So
yeah, I remember that stuff being around, but I never got to play it when I was a kid. So I'm like kind of discovering all that stuff right now.
Nice. Well, enjoy it. It's a good time. It was a good time it was a good experiment, because you can see where a lot of today's games like have picked from it and what they've used from it in like today's releases and stuff. So
yeah.
But then you do that with music, so it's kind of it's good when people pick from the art forms. So cool. Well, I've got another, like I say, couple questions. What your 3 top albums that you'd say the ones that really kind of influenced you into the kind of musician stroke person that you are?
Oh wow,
I know.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. I can say for sure that I can't really say like albums, but I remember Pantera is a band that has really like stuck with me throughout. It's something I started listening to in my like teens.
Yeah,
and then you start listening to other stuff, but that is one band that like I never got tired of. I just kept coming back.
Yeah.
I love that. The Great Southern Trendkill and Reinventing the Steel.
Yep. Damn good albums.
Yeah, I love those. Shit. I really, I don't know. I have such a hard time like picking favorites.
Yeah. Well, just pick pinnacle ones. They don't have to be favorites. They can just be like ones that kind of meant a lot to you at that time, like ones that kind of shaped you. Formative years, like you said, with Pantera through your teens, that was your kind of go-to. Is there anything more recently that you kind of like listen to and go, yes? I
mean, I can't really say it's like shaped me or anything, but I've been listening to Wolfband a lot. It's a Swedish modern body band.
Okay.
I used to work in a bar that had like a little stage downstairs.
Yeah.
And they came by, and it was the live show was just so like, because we had a lot of like bands that weren't, it was a small venue, so
yeah,
there was a lot of like first gigs and stuff like that. And then these guys came by and they were masked the whole time, and they came in from from the back, and yeah, they jumped around and screamed at people. It was really really intense. And they're Swedish, but all their lyrics are in like are in German.
Okay.
That was a pretty cool band. But something more formative, I guess, was like I remember I mentioned Fear Factory.
Yeah.
I remember like Demanufacture was my first like I don't know if you would call that extreme metal anymore, but it was like my first extreme metal album that I listened to.
Yeah.
I honestly I don't listen to that much anymore, but some of that stuff just blew my mind when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah, no, it was same with me. Those sort of bands around that time, they were the most extreme thing I'd heard, you know, until I had that friend who was very much into the kind of black and dark metal side of things, and then you think, oh, okay, it's not actually that extreme, but you know, it's still pretty heavy for day-to-day use, you know, when you've grown up with a lot of pop music around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is. It feels very extreme, and then you know, everyone's got that friend that says, "Actually, it's not. This is," and then they just throw a bunch of blast beats on, and you kind of
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of like a gangster rap guy before that, so that was pretty mind blowing to me when I heard it.
Okay,
but I think the thing with that is a lot of like the death metal bands. If you compare them to Fear Factory, you know, at that time, they play they play harder, but that had like the crisp production too.
Yes,
so it's really hard in that way too. It was very like clean and hard at the same time. You know?
Yeah, it had that very clinical sound to it, especially the drum sound in particular.
Yes, yeah.
It had that it was very powerful because I DJ a lot of rock clubs, and when I play Fear Factory through like whatever album or track that I play. Yeah. It always cuts through. Like it's one of those ones that sound amazing when you play it at a very high volume.
Oh, okay.
And just like the kick drum, it's been shaped to that sound, and it just cuts through everything. And the guitar riffs as well are very good.
Yeah.
But it's just that they were one of the sort of first bands with that real sort of clean sound that. You know, it cut through. It made a difference. I think that's what sort of, apart from, you know, having some good songs, what really made them as popular as they were. Because it had that kind of very clean production to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas a lot of bands out of that era had that kind of analogy, kind of almost sometimes muddy sound to it as well.
Yeah, especially the heavier ones.
Yes. Yeah. Because they couldn't quite. I don't think they could figure it out to mix it cleanly, because everyone just wanted it loud and heavy. So it was just kind of like, just turn it up, master it so it's clipping. Cool. All right. So finally, where can people reach out to you? Where's the best place to look out for Irving Force?
Well, I mean, since I am live streaming, that is like when you'll get an answer immediately. I mean, I don't like take business inquiries on on Twitch. But if you want to come hang out, that's the best place to just chat, or the Discord, or Facebook is usually. I try to be on all the standard social media.
Cool.
Places: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. Well, Adam, thank you very much for your time. I very much appreciate it. Good luck with the album and everything.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Cool.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.